Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. It is my birthday today, but I had to come on and get a video out for you guys, go over training camp practice yesterday, so let's just dive right into it. So the positive news was that it is my birthday. The not-so-positive news that we'll start today's video with is that Rock Ya-Sin was hurt in practice yesterday, knee injury. Walked off on his own power, but limped into the locker room. Harbaugh said he didn't think it was serious, but wanted to hold out until they were able to look at the knee and get some more tests done just to confirm what exactly happened and how long that recovery may be. Regardless, he's probably going to be out for a little bit. And we've been talking about how thin the Ravens were anyway. We've been hearing some great things, especially from Jalen Armour-Davis, but he can't be the number 2 corner with just Pepe and Worley and Arthur Mallett behind him. I mean, that can't be enough. And hopefully this Rock Ya-Sin injury is not a big deal and that he's back and he's still a really solid contributor to us this year. I'm just saying this is an instant reminder of all the things that can go wrong this year at cornerback when you don't have another player that you can trust to throw into that cornerback 2 role. We need a corner outside of Marlon Humphrey that we can trust to put out there on the outside. Now, Jalen Armour-Davis might be that guy. Maybe he's taken such a leap and he's that guy. That's great too, but then who's his backup? And I know every team doesn't have a ton of depth behind their top corner, but we can make a move. And with the opportunity that's at our fingertips here with this kind of roster, we have a really, really competitive roster. It's good to go all in. It's good to ensure that this roster, even if they suffer an injury or 2 here and there, can have the guys that can easily step in and hold the fort down. And although I'd love for them to go get a Jair Alexander or AJ Terrell or some top guy that may be available, that's going to cost a lot of draft picks and a lot of money, so I understand the risk for the team as well. I'm not saying that is the avenue to go down. I'm dreaming. You can go trade for a guy that's equivalent talent level to Rock Ya-Sin. You can go find those guys. There's a lot of solid corners that have experience that you can trust. And Anthony Averett's still out there. If they wanted to take a flyer on him, I feel like they don't just because they haven't brought him back or even brought him in for a visit at this point. As far as we know, he's still a free agent. But a trade can surely be made at any point, whether that be now or let's see how this injury is. Let's still give our guys a lot of preseason time, maybe even early into the season, and then go make a move. But regardless, I cannot see a scenario that we don't add a corner. And this Rock Ya-Sin injury, whether it be minor or serious, is just a quick reminder that we don't have a lot of proven solid cornerbacks on this team. And we've seen it many times before when we have one cornerback go down, the other team just starts lighting us up. And there are way too many powerhouse teams in the AFC, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Ravens are not going to be able to win games if they're being scored on a lot. I know our offense is going to be a lot better this year, and we're going to be able to score a lot more points than normal, but the reason that we expect to win so many games this year is because we expect our defense to hold teams to a reasonable amount, 24 and under, and your offense can score 24 or more. That's going to lead to a lot of wins this year. But if your defense is letting up 30 plus, your offense is going to have some weeks where they can't match that. And we've seen that in the past. And you lose. So I know they know that. I'm not questioning Eric DeCosta's intelligence or anything like that. That's why I'm expecting another move, though. There's no way that this is all the cornerbacks that are going to be on this team for this season. I would be shocked and disappointed. We need to add someone else to this mix, even if it's just a rotational guy, but a security blanket for the outside. I don't like being exposed like that at that position. You know, at receiver, we went and did a great job of building a bunch of depth there. Last year, the receiver room is like our cornerback room in a sense. We have Rashad Bateman. I don't know if he's equivalent to Marlon Humphrey yet, but we have Rashad Bateman as our clear-cut number one last year, and we were all excited. And he looked great for the first few weeks. Our offense was balling. Duvernay was involved. Lamar was killing it. Our run game was still strong. Rashad Bateman was killing it. Boom, he goes down for the year. Our pass game goes to absolute dog shit. On the flip side, if Marlon or Rock Ya-Sin go down and there's no one to step up into that spot, then all of a sudden that offense that we're playing can create mismatches pretty easily, and that number 2 or 3 receiver can move around to that other corner and beat them. And we're exposed. And good quarterbacks will take advantage of that. And I know that other teams have that issue as well. I'm not saying the Baltimore Ravens are isolated in that a thin cornerback room isn't a common problem across the league. It is. There's not a lot of elite corners. But with the roster and the chance right now that we have to win a Super Bowl, I don't think you can play games with that. You got to bring in another corner that you can trust that has starter experience and go into this season stacked. So that if a Rock Ya-Sin injury does happen, we got a couple guys that can easily fill that hole or at least do a great job at it so that the defense doesn't just crumble. So no pads in practice today. No Odell Beckham Jr. in practice today. He had a vet day. Ojabo and Geno Smith missed practice due to injury, and then all your PUP and non-football injury guys also missed practice. So that's the Bateman, J.K. Dobbins, Patrick Ricard. They're still not practicing either. Seems like Nelson Aguilar and Zay Flowers just continue to make plays today. Zay Flowers continues to impress practice after practice. Fully on board the Zay Flowers hype train. I think this dude is the real deal and such a weapon for our offense. I can't wait for all these weapons to come together and see how this looks. I think it's going to be so exciting. I think this offense can really put up a lot of points, really shock a lot of people this year, especially because they don't have film on this offense. Saleh was still getting first-team reps with the left guard, but John Harbaugh did say that they're going to be rotating in every 2 weeks to give the next guy a chance. So John Simpson should be taking over that first-team reps role. So Saleh is not locked into the left guard slot at all, as we didn't expect that he was. But it is a rotation. So Saleh got 2 weeks with the first team. John Simpson's going to get 2 weeks with the first team. Probably Ben Cleveland's going to get a couple weeks with the first team. So we're going to get to see each of these guys, and I think that's the best way to go about it, right? You gotta see what they all have with the starters. Going to give each one a lot of preseason time. I'm sure they're all going to play a ton of preseason time. We'll have to see how this shakes out, who ends up earning the job and winning the job at left guard. I think that it's definitely one of the more wide open training camp position battles. Backup corner is also an interesting position battle, but left guard is completely wide open for who's going to start. I'm just excited to see it play out. Obviously, Saleh is probably going to be a pretty good player if you're already earning some first-team reps, though. Ronnie Stanley hit the podium, said that this line could be even better than the 2019 offensive line.
I just know the type of players that we have, the experienced vets, me, Morgan, Kevin Zeitler. And then, we got a lot of some young guys, Tyler's in there. And then we got the left guard, position. And I really think we have the pieces to bring that same type of offensive line. And, we could be better. So it's just about us, putting that together and actually doing it.
I have the utmost confidence in our offensive line. I mean, Ronnie Stanley is all-pro left tackle. Incredible. It doesn't get much better than that. Left guard is wide open, but I do trust that they're going to make the right decision. Center, we got a future Pro Bowler in Tyler Linderbaum. I love his game, how quick his feet are. It's impressive. I love his mindset. I think we got a center for the next 10-plus years. Right guard, Kevin Zeitler, holding it down, veteran, staple. A few videos ago was about who I want the Ravens to extend soon, and Zeitler's at the top of my list. Like, that's a guy that we need to keep around for another 2 years. He's just such a rock at right guard. And Morgan Moses at right tackle is a solid option as well, and I love Falele coming in behind him. I think he's a mammoth of a human being, and the fact that he was getting some looks and some time at other positions and some playing time last year, and he improved quickly within that game. Remember when he got thrown in, he got blown around like the first play, but then he just started to get it and started to improve. I think when players like that, like Kyle Hamilton, who messes up, but then a few weeks later he's getting better, and by the end of the season he's like one of the best players. That is how you know you got somebody that's going to contribute to this team for years, because they care about getting better, they're focused, they have a drive to be great, and I think Falele has that. So I love our future at right tackle as well. And I just think our offensive line is insanely strong, and we're going to continue to add to that each draft. Each draft, we're going to plug guys in and just keep that system rolling. And this game is won in the trenches. The offensive line, defensive line has to be strong. If you're getting pushed back into the quarterback, you have no time to do anything. So having a strong offensive line is very important, especially for pass protection this year. That needs to be on point, right? If this pass offense is going to go to the levels that we see and that we think it can go to, then it needs to have incredible pass blocking from the offensive line. I trust that our offensive line already is a great run blocking offensive line. They've got plenty of experience doing that. So, and I trust that they'll figure out pass protection as well. I'm just saying that I think that that's an emphasis this season. It's going to be of added importance to make sure that our pass protection is solidified so that Lamar has some time to get that ball to these weapons. That's it for today, guys. I'm going to go enjoy my birthday a little bit. I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.